Glad to have you back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the conversation right here on Lagos Television. Before we came back from that break, I'm sure you watched that report on open defecation and what Lagos State government is doing to address that scourge, because it's become a serious pandemic that should be addressed. And of course, the Lagos State government, even over the weekend, 20 people, as of yesterday, were arrested for defecating in public. I'm sure other aspect has also been proactive steps taken to address that. But that's not our conversation this morning. We are looking at the build-up to Edo governorship election. And of course, you do know on the 21st of September, that election will hold. Now, there are many sides to the Edo governorship election. It's like an hydra-headed monster. And of course, we don't know who will eventually take the day. We have so many political parties. Before, it would have been just a two-horse race. But at the moment, we have the PDP, the APC, the Labour Party, and other political parties, because they're also on the ballot as well. But the actors are the main focus. What exactly is happening in Edo? There are so many sides. So in fact, let's just sink our teeth into the conversation. We have a politician in training, yes, and a communication strategist and a broadcaster as well. It's a pleasure to have you, Mr. Charles Deho, here in the studio. Yeah, Good morning to you.
Thank you. Glad to be on this.
You're always on ground as far as the Edo politics is concerned. Yeah, of course, that's where you're from. With Edo politics. Yes, but in fact, let me take it from the periphery before we dive deeper into it. What do you see playing out in few days to the election? Who's got the momentum so far?
Well, so far, I think it's the pendulum has not been in favor of the PDP. They are coming to the party too late because of internal squabbles and some internal wranglings and leadership crisis. Somebody had been impeached, not properly impeached, and had to come back. You're talking about a state having two deputy governors. One of them is authentic, the other one. So there's been a lot of problems. So PDP is coming to the party late, and they're starting their campaigns today. I mean, either today or sometime this week. But APC had gone far because you have 3 central districts in Edo State, just as you have in other states. They've covered almost all, and then doing the second round. PDP is just about starting. So it's, as I said, the pendulum is not really favoring them as well. But of course, as we speak, maybe people are relying, they are trying to rely on the power of incumbency. But we've seen over time in this country that there were places that incumbency didn't actually help at all. But we see how it's going to be playing out in the coming days. But you call it, how many, is that a 2-horse race? But I still think it's a 2-horse race. Not three.
When Labour, you remember how they upstaged some of the...
Well, I think those days are gone.
The general elections, last year.
Those days are gone. I was in Benin in June. I went around. There is, I think the momentum. Okay, what really helped that PDP,
the bandwagon of the
was because of the obedient movement. So the obedient movement, because as we always say that, because I used to be an advisor to the national chairman of Labour Party, Abure. So I understand whatever is happening within there. So the momentum, that strength that the obedient movement carried and they gifted the Labour Party has waned over the months. So right now, Olumide is just trying to feast on the remnant of the Obi factor. So which is actually not working the door anymore as we speak. But Olumide, what is going to be relied on is his individual popularity. But the odds do not favor him. Because if you go to Edo State, the way powers are shared, it's also the way powers are shared, rotational basis. But the difference is that as Edo stands on a tripod, the Edo South, okay, so the pendulum of leadership has been swinging between, oscillating between north and south, to the disadvantage of the central, which is the third leg. So people are saying no, they are our brothers, even though they have a very weak voting strength. But we should hold the ladder up for them. So that's why the PDP and the APC, the two forerunners, had to zone their tickets to the Edo Central. So whether you like it or not, I mean, most of them, whether APC, whether PDP, is they are both. Now, Edo, as I said, depending on when Oshiomhole was there, Oshiomhole spent 8 years. So then the baton changed in 2008, and then that's Oshiomhole is from Edo North. So the pendulum swung to Edo South. That's in Obaseki. Now, Obaseki, Edo South. Obaseki is going to be finishing 8 years, Edo South. You don't expect power to now be retained. That's what doesn't help Olumide Akpata. Okay. He's Benin speaking.
Charles.
So you can't allow Benin to hand over to Benin. That's what I say, yes.
Okay, but when you look at all the political parties, before and after their political primaries, they all had crisis.
That's it.
And they're all trying to manage it one way or the other. I want us to speak to the Philip Shuaib factor here.
Okay.
Is back in the APC, whether we like it or not. Is he still the sitting deputy governor?
Yeah, he is. He is by
virtue of the court.
Thank you. That's what I said.
So tell us how things are going to play out at the end of the day, and what factor would Shuaib be playing in all of these to ensure that the APC win at the end of the day? That is on one side. The PDP is the ruling power. They have the financial muscle, and I see that Obaseki has been doing some media campaign lately, trying to showcase some of his achievements in office. Can we just push that by the side and say that, oh, PDP is coming to the party late?
Well, coming to the party late because we're going to the campaign party late. That's maybe I've corrected that. Okay. Well, the Obaseki factor used to loom large until he had problems with certain not even after Oshiomhole. He had problems with some party bigwigs over there. People were accusing him of an attempt to ride roughshod over everyone. Oshiomhole helped to dismantle the godfatherism factor, and then he was chased out of town in the manner of speaking. Then Oshiomhole came in. He said there was not going to be any godfather. He brought in Obaseki, wanting to be a godfather. Obaseki was able to find a way to pull the rug off him. Obaseki wanting not to be a godfather. So there's been all this problem about what you chase the godfather away, you want to be the godfather. So there were some party bigwigs that didn't actually like the way he was playing his party politics of wanting to be the be-all and end-all. So it actually pit a lot of them against him, and most of them found their way back to APC. You understand? Most of them found their way back to the APC. Which says that, and those are the people who Shaibu is now rely on. They are now building from the broken blocks and now erecting them and then re-engineering the structure, the Oshiomhole Shaibu structure. So they are building it back together and they are handing it over to Oshiomhole to help the PDP and the APC. So I'm shocked that nobody is talking about the candidate himself. Because you are not even asking me a question about the question.
We're going to get there.
Just because it's a build-up. Everything because the people who are going to be working behind them are the ones who are holding the ladder up there. Because the candidate himself is not as if it's a pushover. But it's what I call.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's go into it.
So
the APC candidate is a 7th senator, I believe.
7, and
a first timer.
Yes.
And of course, his deputy is also a member of the House of Reps.
Yes. Also, those first, I think is the attorney I can call now.
Yes. So listening to the campaign, one of the campaigns, they talked about the fact that they hold sway in their senatorial district.
Okay.
And here on the other side, they said PDP has imported, like Obaseki has imported a technocrat to Edo.
Yeah.
That the APC candidates are home base.
Yes.
The same allegation or the same castigation was on Olumide Akpata, that is a Lagos-based politician and suddenly realized that there is politics in Edo and he wants to. So how do you see? Let's even look at how entrenched are these candidates in Edo before we talk about who actually is the best candidate of the three.
Well, we want to see the best because the people who are going to be choosing are not here. I'm not even entitled to vote in it, even though I play.
But what kind of feelings are you getting from the people who are expected to vote?
Because you packed a lot of things in a box. Let's begin to unbox them here. Let me first of all settle with Olumide. Olumide Akpata is, as people will say, is not a homeboy. He's been in Lagos and national for so long, for too long, according to what they're saying over there. No, but as you know, I told you that the odds did not favor him. He's Benin speaking, and they don't want. Even the Benin people have said, no, we must help the son to hold the letter for them. So that all doesn't favor him. And then the one you may laugh over is something that is a bit jocular, but we can't wish it away. Is the fact that people are not ready to have someone who has 2 Yoruba names being the executive governor of Edo State. I mean, people could go that pedestrian in their thinking. I'm telling you. I mean, I don't know. Somebody
as funny as that.
No. If you were John Akpata, they could accept. If you were maybe Samson Akpata, but Olumide
but that does not change the fact that he was born. Is buttered and bread.
I am telling you what people are saying. Don't say
okay, go on.
You know, that's interesting.
In politics, they will always dig into your past and will give you the history of your grandfather.
How will you find any Edo person that doesn't have one kind of Yoruba name?
No. See, the thing is that we answer Yoruba names over there, but they could accept one. But family name, well, family could be Adeoye, but not Benga Adeoye. But it could be John Adeoye.
Olumide Akpata. But his Akpata is not spelled in the Yoruba way.
Abada don't need Kelele.
So that name is against Olumide.
Yeah, but you know what he now did? When he saw that, he now imported his Benin name. It's now Olumide Osagbovo Akpata.
Okay.
But people are saying no, the Osagbovo is just in the middle. So
should they be thinking about the names or the quality that
you are asking me?
You are close to them and you are from there.
I'm telling you, I said people they can go pedestrian in their thinking. See, yesterday I had almost 1.5 hours engagement on radio with the assistant secretary of the APC. On Sunday, I'm going to be having the PDP on my radio program. Now, to the extent, listen to this. Now, the PDP man, the Aswelime Ngodalo, the one called Aswelime Ngodalo. Now, the accusation is that is not a sign enough. Why? He doesn't speak the language.
And they said his family doesn't.
Now, what they want, they said they want to embarrass him. They are setting up a debate, and it has to be this.
Edo politics is funny, honestly.
But every politics is local.
You know, when you hear intrigues that are intriguing.
Okay, let's talk about the candidate of the APC now. Yeah.
Well, that is a homeboy.
Okay.
He's a homeboy. He was one of those foot soldiers for the late Mr. Fixit. What's his name? And so he's been there for a long time. And then he came in, protest vote against Senator Dia, gave him the because he's been doing quite, according to them, he's been doing sinking boreholes where there was no water, providing these buses to convey people. According to they've been doing a lot. So when they had a problem with Senator Dia not returning, and then he came in, and then before you know, protest vote against Odia, gave him the day. So he's there in the Senate, and then he said, okay, people say, okay, why don't you try this? Why don't you come to a bigger picture? That's why he's here. So it's actually a grassroots person, but it's a newcomer in terms of the political leadership in Edo State. He's a newcomer. And the question people are asking, can we, as Edo people, are we ready to experiment with a newcomer? So that's another problem. That's why I said not many people are talking about him. So the attention is on Oshomole, attention on the center, attention is on the APC, not him. But when you get to PDP, the attention is on Obaseki and that's where.
But of course, you knew Obaseki before. It has always been the structure of the party and those big names.
No, Obaseki was actually in the news for every time, but he was behind Oshomole. All the economic activities and all the policies for Oshomole, Obaseki was behind it.
Okay.
Even though he wasn't seen, but he was doing a lot behind. That was why he stood his ground to say he was going to be the one to pass the baton over to when you change.
Charles, looking at the mood in that state now, do you think the election is going to be violent? And then I want you to speak sincerely now. The performance of Obaseki in 8 years, is it going to tweak anything in favor of the PDP? Objectively?
Not likely. Obaseki actually started well. It started well. I was very close to a lot of people around him, movies, chiefs, press secretary were missed, but now most of them, we know how it is now. We don't talk anymore like that. No, I wasn't working for him. We're all doing things together and all that. But you see, the thing is that I think over the months, this intervening months, Obaseki found, maybe because of wanting to ensure that he plants his people there. So he now ran off the track, and then everybody became his enemy. So people are even saying that even those things he said he put in place were all, as to say, audio infrastructure and all that. Okay. As I said, politicians will look everything to send you to the jail, to send you to political jail. So they are saying, Obaseki, right now, that is exactly what is working in campaign, working against his candidate, Aswelime Godalo. That how can you have, he may be a good man, where he doesn't speak a sound which is also against him, and then he's also going to be continuing from the legacy of Obaseki that a lot of people are quarreling with right now. Now, the problem now is that people are also, they have resentment for APC at the center, but do not have problem with the candidate. Now, they want PDP, but they are not happy with Obaseki. So it's a whole lot of power play and resentment against the center, but liking the candidate. Then they don't want APC, but they don't like the PDP. So it's a whole lot of things.
I also read somewhere that the sitting governor, Obaseki, now equally had some issues with the Oba of Benin. Well, is that going to count against him as well?
Look, I don't know about you. Of course, I do know about Yoruba land. Because I've been here for over 20 years doing journalism and all that. In Benin, in Edo, not even only in Benin, because no other person can answer Oba in the whole of Edo land. That position is for one. That title is for one person. You can be Bale, you can be Enege, but nobody can answer Oba. So is everybody defer to him. If you are a governor, you go to the Oba's palace, you will have to kneel or bow to greet him. It doesn't happen in Yoruba land, because Oba of Benin is still the #1 citizen in Edo State. So he still has this very, very strong influence. So it is that influence that Obaseki wanted to break, that he ran into murky waters, you know. And then again, the return of the artifacts, which is traditionally supposed to be custodian of it, but Obaseki now wanting to usurp and wanting to appropriate. So a whole lot of things against them. Then, you know, so this a whole of things came against that.
Maybe just quickly get this out. ASU had, especially PDP, ASU, and they have got issues with their primaries. Yes. Have they resolved that now?
Well, Obaseki is also being accused of unilaterally, throwing him up. You know, the court said he is the authentic candidate. So that was exactly what actually stalled their move into the campaign train. But that has been resolved. But leadership crisis is still within the party, which of course you have people who are PDP in the night and the other parties in the PDP in the daytime, other parties in the night and not. So they've been trying this last ditch effort to ensure that all these gaps are closed, so that we'll be able to do that. So
I hope this doesn't play out during the litigations after the elections. But let's move on to the dynamics of people of Edo. Edo people are very, in quotes now, are very proud people. And that's why you have slogans like, Edo is not Lagos, especially when Obaseki had to do a fast one on Oshomole. So how do you think this is going to play out? Just looking at your crystal ball, considering that we've seen how Edo politics works, it's very dynamic and it's very fluid as well. Today they are here, tomorrow they are using the center as a mirror, and sometimes they say, look, this is local politics, let's go. How do you think this is going to play out, especially with the people? We don't do lots of polls here, So we don't know who is actually taking
the lead for now.
So how does it work with the people of Edo?
Sadly, my crystal ball is blurry. It's quite blurry now. So let me just use, as I said, dynamics of the Edo politicking. One thing is that culture has very, very strong influence in the way we do things back home in Edo State. Culture, respect for the elders. Again, now one of the dynamics, one of the things that actually Obaseki when he cashed in on to pull the rug off Oshobele's feet was that there's something Edo doesn't. We don't share power based on religion, but based on regions. So Oshobele at that time wanting to copy what obtains in the southwest, wanting to import Muslim Christian ticket. People didn't like it. You're going to, because we are okay the way we are. You are a Christian, you are a Muslim, we can marry each other. When you are, we call it Salah back home. When you are celebrating Salah, if you're a Muslim, I'm Christian, I come to your house, we do things together. So your father, you are a Muslim, the wife could be a Christian, the children, they could share. So we're okay with that. But when he was trying to bring Christian Muslim ticket, it didn't work well, it didn't go down well with a lot of people. So that was part of why he also lost out in the game. Then about the dynamics. Right now, the focus is on supporting the Esan agenda, because Esan's son or daughter had not been there since 2008, when Professor Osare Mosumbo was dethroned by the court that Oshomole now inherited that thing ACN at that time. So ever since, so look at 2008 to 2024, how many years? So they've not actually been there, because they are like the whipping boys, politically speaking. They have 5 local governments. The South has 7. The North, where I come from, we have 6. Yeah, 6. And then, the way things go over as I said, it just stands on a tripod. Then the ESA stands on 2 legs. You have Basilo, you have Lokbewolo. Bewolo has 2 local governments, Basilo has 3. When you go up now, where I come from, we also stand on the tripod. You have 1 leg, Onwa, where I come from, another leg, Esako, Oshomole's place, another leg, Kokwedo. When you get to Esako, 3 legs. You have 3 local government. My place, 2 legs. Onwa East and West, Akokwedo 1. So these are how people who want to do well in politics, they have to do calculation and all these things. You may win Onwa West, not win Onwa East. So don't go for the whole of so you may win on Esako West. So you look for exactly who are the leaders, and play to their sentiments, those regional sentiments. So that's exactly, if you want to do well, play to regional sentiments.
Who is playing it better?
Well, for now, I think APC is playing it better. The reason is that Oshomole has been there for so long. And then Oshomole, his full soldiers, led by Shaibu, and they've known, so now Shaibu and Oshomole, they're closing gaps and then begin to do a rapprochement and all that. So they are
that's
playing
an
better.
advantage for the APC.
It's an advantage. But what Obaseki did, Obaseki also wanted to play in, he knew that over time, power rotation has also always favored Edo speaking and Esako speaking. Sorry, Afemai, where I come from. Now, over time, everything that is going to Edo North will be arrogated, or how do I say, will be picked up by Esako. Because of the Oshomole factor, leaving out Onwa, leaving out Akoko-Edo. What did he do? When Shaibu was uprooted, in the manner of speaking, he went to Akoko-Edo and picked Godwin's, Omobayo Godwin, as the deputy governor, in order to play to the sentiment of Akoko-Edo. Now, what did he do? The Speaker of the House of Assembly, he went to Onwa West and picked Blessing as his Speaker. What he did to Onwa is where I come from. He went there to pick a commissioner. So that's how he was able to play into the sentiment of the Edo North, in order to further divide the Oshomole factor over there. So that's what he did.
Charles,
so these are the things that actually
because
play
of our time.
Yes.
How strong is the influence of the legacy group in Edo State? And what does this particular election mean for the political future of Oshomole? There are
so many groups, whether legacy, whether this or this or that. I just told you, it depends on. There are also, again, another thing is that the diaspora factor is also there. The diaspora factor is also there. They may not vote, but they play a lot of
influence
in terms of sending money home to oil the wheels of either parties and all that. That's exactly what helped the labor movement in Edo State. But now, as we speak, most of them are in PDP. because you have most of them Edo speaking over, Edo, Benin people, they travel more than the other people. So, and they have this money they are putting in, you have this one voice, all of them who are actually supporting the PDP, and they're not so much as the APC. So what APC is going to be counting on is the federal might, because whether you like it or not, you look at the body language of the Mr. President is still very, very interested in Edo. Edo is the gateway to the east. If you capture Edo, you are getting to the former Bende. Once you're able to do that, you have an hero into this. So Edo is very dear to the heart of the center. So they are relying on the center, the factor of the center. They also relying on the Shomole, because you can't wish him away and all that. Then while Obaseki, the center, PDP center is no more holding. PDP is, apart from Atiku, you see Atiku and the other there.
So this is like a political, Oshiomhole has a political score to settle.
Yeah, he has.
And
he has.
He will go all out.
And, let me tell you what happened. When Oshiomhole wanted his own candidate, the reason is this. This national television.
We can this
Dahosa.
Dahosa, yeah. Who is now the deputy?
Yeah, deputy. That's why he was able to bring him as deputy and plant him there. Now, the reason is, according to what people are looking at, Oshiomhole has his eyes on a pile, and that pile is the Senate presidency in the coming dispensation. Now, you will need money, you will need funding. So if you have somebody who is your governorship, who is the governor in that state, you could have access to
funds.
Let's leave it at that. Okay, let's leave it at that.
Perhaps my final question, this politics of a thing.
It's dynamic.
How come we have not matured to have conversations around policies?
Yeah, policies, yeah.
We've talked about the sentiment of the people, the culture of the people of Edo State. No one is talking about the indices of development, talking about education, talking about health, talking about even economies of Edo State. Edo State. I have a situation where I'm a little bit taken aback, because during Oshiomhole, at that time, we're talking about even education in Edo. At that time, we're talking about what he's even doing economically for Edo people. I have not had that much of a conversation with Obaseki. How come it's not taking root in Edo politics at the moment?
Okay, the reason, it's a plausible reason, which of course we might find substance in, is that the Oshiomhole years was like a one-party state in Edo State. Everybody deferred to him, so you were saying Oshiomhole was saying everybody, but now you have everything have been multiplied. You have the
decentralized.
No, so they multiplied. Obaseki here, multiplication of power bases. Obaseki power base, Oshiomhole power base, and all that. So that's why now each one is looking towards, making sure that is the one that will be reckoned with. All right. So nobody's going to be talking about when you are fighting. You look for how to hit your opponent hard. You don't talk about other mundane things. So where they are right now in the rings. How do I undo my opponent? Is what is playing out. So if you're going to be talking about education and somebody else is how to give you a blow, nobody's talking about that. So until that, and then poverty is also playing a major role factor, because when people are poor, they hardly listen to the voice of reasoning. They hardly listen to who is going to be paying your school. All they do is that they just get more, just like you said, kind of thing. So people want infrastructure. So, and when people have been impoverished, they hardly look for policies. What it is that when they are doing political rallies, people go there, they share them money and they go back. Don't tell them about education. Even when you're talking, they are not listening to you. Just finish, let us know what you're getting back. That's all.
Okay, so but when the new governor gets to the office now, will the people be confident enough to ask him questions? Okay, what are you bringing on board?
No,
because you have mortgaged your future.
They can't. Are we asking because even the center? How many people ask?
Yes, I was about to link it to the center, but of course,
how many people asked all these questions? All the questions we're asking that time during the election was to be obedient movement, article this, and nobody was talking much about these things. So it's the same thing that is playing out in the subnationals right now, the subnational entities. So when he gets there, you can't, you have no cause to ask him, because what you didn't ask him in the beginning.
He didn't say anything.
What did he didn't promise anything.
So
anything I didn't promise, don't hold me down.
Yeah.
So if you're not promising anything, what are you going to be reminding her? If you didn't promise a lady, you were going to take the lady out. You went as what are we going to say? No, but we didn't talk about that. Let's just. This is the moment. Let's enjoy the moment. And
so
go back.
Edo will still remain the same way in terms of development.
Well, shake benio.
Yeah, no, it's the reality. From what you have submitted now, it's the reality.
Am I shake before?
Is it not the reality?
But you see, the thing is that, see, it's something we're all facing. You see, we are impoverished. So when the leaders come in there, it's just like a chicken that has, you lock the chicken up for a while. You throw corn and all that. Chicken will be happy to get that. It's the same thing. We're like this chicken.
I'm not from Edo.
But I'm from Edo.
You are saying we.
No, we. You brought me here. You said I should speak for my people. We minus you, right? We Edo people, and that's what I'm telling you. But what you have in Edo is replicated in virtually all the sub-nations.
Because I'm a little bit taken aback, because I know that what plays out nationally, but I felt that since you're cascading it from the national to the sub-regional, like Edo, how can't you have something like, so what do you intend to do to scale up perhaps your IGR? What I intend to do? Because I'm also a bit taken aback with what Obaseki is doing. He's seen as a technocrat. Now he has literally joined the Rofo fight.
Yeah, and he's not good at it. He's not good at it
because
he didn't have any background for that.
Because during his tenure, we know that he has removed the roof of the House of Assembly in order to get some members out of this thing. And I don't know how he can even still stay in government, considering that those people who supported him, he backstabbed them, talking about Wiki. And the politics of things is so murky, and I'm wondering, like, how can't we have conversations that will better the lives of the people? If someone isn't doing it, perhaps the people of Edo, by virtue of the fact that they are not that poverty is there.
They are actually enlightened.
How come they can't do something? The players themselves can't say, look, this is what we want to do. This is our master plan for Edo people. Bring something so that we can hold you responsible.
Well, it's befuddling, I can say, and sadly so. And the Edo society is a relatively educated society, a literate society. But when in fairness, Obaseki, when it was coming, Obaseki wanted to change the narrative, wanted to change the thinking process of people, so that people can be engaged in policy conversations rather than political. The thing is that in politics we have two schools. All politicians are either graduate of the one or the other. You have the school of somebody can be how do I say it now? Okay, you can be a politician from the school of power. The other one is from the school of politics. All right. So Obaseki came from the school of politics. So he wanted to play politics, giving people what, this is how to do it and all that. But those who are from the school of power came in and said, no, they wanted to, So he just began to fight them again, those who are from the school of politics of power. So Obaseki actually, in fairness to him, wanted to actually change the narrative. Let's discuss issues. He came in with that, but it didn't help him. That's why he started removing roof and all that. Because those who are from the school of politics of power, he saw that they were actually driving rough and all that, driving one way against traffic. So he said, well, this issue of, talking about politics is not helping. So let's play it together. So let's play dirty. And the dirty game is what brought him to, he's going to be completing his second tenure and all that. Okay. So
there's a major player we have not mentioned here, and that's INEC.
Yes.
The politics of Edo State is quite complex from what you have narrated here. How do you see INEC navigating through this complexity nature of Edo politics in such a way that the election would at least be fair at the end of the day?
I do not want to openly have anything against INEC.
What have you seen? What have you heard?
I'm a public figure. They know who I am, even though I am not comfortable with most of the things that...
what are you not comfortable saying?
I'm not comfortable with the processes. The processes that will make those who the people have actually chosen to emerge is still missing. We were all happy, all of us were all beat when we heard about the introduction of IREV, introduction of BVAS, and all. So we thought we were going to be getting it right. But when the cookies crumbled those Beavers and IREF, they didn't play any significant role at all. You know, people will say it is only when you have a problem you cannot fill incident form. Incident form now took over the other thing. So I don't know if INEC has...
Isn't this clarification
that's
to be done by,
I'm stuttering
by political parties? Isn't this what they should be talking about on how to make the process fair? I know INEC has said go pick up...
Political parties will never... Listen to this. Political parties will never make things work in this country. Because if the processes work and is seamless, it will not benefit some politicians. You understand? So the more fraudulent the system, the better for these people. You understand? They know that they are not capable, they are not popular. But if let's just do what they always do the damage in order for pendulum to swing their way.
Okay.
So that's exactly why they do not want the system to work where to favor somebody. A sort of nobody can come and then and become, but they don't want that.
But what do you think INEC should do, and of course in conjunction with security agencies?
Okay, what INEC should do, I think INEC has to write its name in the annals of this country, particularly because everybody is looking towards that as the umpire. INEC, I think it's about time INEC became what do I call it, the umpire that would not pander to the whims of other people. So let them, can they stay? But again, is INEC really independent? That's a rhetorical questions I have no answer to.
Who is going to win the governorship?
No, who might?
Okay, who is likely to?
Conditional
who
statement.
might?
Who might?
Make it conditional.
That's why I said, who might? Well, as I said, two-horse race, that's what I'm saying. It will be difficult to say this candidate is going to win because you have to also support that your choice with facts. As I said, the candidate of APC may not be individually popular. No, when I'm saying popular, when it has to do as a newcomer. But the resentment for PDP may also turn to protest vote for him. But again, the other people say, okay, well, can we trust him? Because people have been accusing him that he hardly speaks because, as I said, he doesn't speak well. Edo is relatively okay. We're not. Edo is a literate society.
It's a gentleman in politics.
Even though we speak pidgin a lot, but when he has to do, so people are asking if, for instance, President Tinubu want to ask for a governor to represent him in a global forum, and then say, okay, go there. Can the man stand? Is it about oratory?
He has a speech
about oratory, but it's okay. Let the best win.
Okay.
Okay. What to say? Thank you very much, Charles Ideo, communication strategist, broadcaster, and a politician in training.
Yeah.
Okay, that's about it for the build-up to Edo politics come September 21st. How that will pan out, only time will tell. We'll take another break. When we come back, Conversation Lagos will be here for you. Don't go anywhere.
The views expressed on this program do not represent that of the producer, management of Lagos Television, or the Lagos State Government. They remain the perspectives of those expressing them. Thank you for staying with Lagos Television.
In satellite Oriade, there is, especially some years ago, there is court season. It was so tough here. It was so tough here. We can't even be here by 7 o'clock, especially this water side. But today, someone can feel free to stay here to 11 o'clock. 12 o'clock, you are free. No one attacks you, no one harasses you.
We are experiencing a lot of state government presence in terms of infrastructure, but we still want more from the Lagos state government in terms of because a lot of roads here in Oriade, they need a lot of rehabilitation so that there can be